Team Ready is going to
Team
drop
Ready
right
is
now.
going to drop right
and
now. Oh, and Galatasaray, sorry.
Sims and Paz, they were kind of talking about it. And
Strange.
we said that on disc. We said Team Ready is probably going to drop in the military power area.
Yes,
we talked about it, and they were like, oh, what is Team Ready doing? They're dropping towards military power. So clearly, you guys, you have to listen.
Are you calling them out?
You have to listen to the desk segment. I mean, it's really important.
They went off the rocker in the last game.
Absolutely.
So there's not much further they can go, I suppose. All right, guys, let's head over to our commentary team here as we get this drop fully done and good to go. I imagine they've got some fantastically witty comebacks to come at us. Let's go, Lauren and Sims.
I'd listen to the desk if you spoke more about the game and less about dogs and cats that you're drawing in your notebooks. I mean, I come from CSGO where the analysis desk actually does some work. I mean, I just expect a higher caliber from you guys. Once you get that going, we'll pay attention, right?
I'd listen to Martin if he actually knew how to speak proper English, but that's another story to be told.
Potato in the mouth, Dane over there, just...
Damn! Twisting the knife.
I mean,
I respect it.
trying to give it, isn't he?
Yeah, just trying to make us look like fools over here. All right, Mr. Hot Drop Can. I made a website once. Anyway, there's already fights going off. Light has got eyes on the prize. Team Ready, who Martin did touch on. A beautiful death. It's not beautiful. It's a full-blown execution. Bullet to the back of the head. Down he goes in the first circle. Well, not too dissimilar from the previous one. This more, it's gone more to the left-hand side. 50% water, though, Lauren. Again,
oh, that circle is heathen.
It's cruel. And there's only one team that's really going to be in an half-decent position. That's Severny.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's very cruel.
That is really rough. All right. Guys and girls at home, this is going to be the game for you. Let's see if you can get better predictions than the desk does. Who wins this game? I mean, you could just take a shot in the dark. You'll probably do better than them, but you can just have a go at it. We see the circle now. You've seen the route. You've seen a couple of games. Who do you think's got the best shot at this? I want to see what you guys think. I like hearing from you. You're smart. I'm just going to just pander to the audience, so then you like me more than Martin. It's what I do. But back to the game.
Is that a
the
challenge?
ones who are going to be suffering are, of course, the ones in the southern side, or I guess anyone trying to cross through Rozhok way or Yasnaya way. These rotations are going to be so hard to get past here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of roadblocks, unfortunately, and a lot of challenges. Again, it's kind of not too dissimilar to the previous one where the edge becomes a complete killing zone. The difference is this time there's no real safe haven when it comes to centralization in terms of, all right, we'll just run inland, we'll get to middle, we'll hope for the best. Well, no, you've got these Rozhok compounds, which they're not too bad, you know, and you might be able to get a position in there. But the rest of it's a complete mess. Everywhere else, you can scatter to the winds on the left-hand side and go towards the west. But again, you're also banking on people like Toxic, Red Diamonds, Fours, all these guys that are already inside the circle, not to move ahead of you. And the problem is, Yasnaya, entrance into the circle, you've got M19 there. Rozhok, you've got 3 bridges. One of them, okay, moves toward the left, but it's still 3 decent ways to cross that river. You've got Fours there. You then look towards Georgopol, another entry point to the circle. Yep. You've got Toxic and Red Diamonds there. Every single entrance into this is going to be covered. It all depends, and we might see some kind of phase rotation, I want to say, where you see
That's
these
going to be a lot,
teams
isn't it? Yeah.
go all the way up, all along the eastern coast, and then arrive around the back of Stalba. Some of them might even just cut it early. The fields of Yasnaya cross them, dive below Stalba, but again, you've got Accelerate Gaming that are going to be lingering around here. The typical phase play that we like to see, they move just to the left of Stalba, stop on those hills, get a feel where all the rest of the teams are, rather than just bombing in. There is a couple of garages along the northern road, along the coast road. People will be going for them. But again, all these teams at this level, they are very aware of what's prime territory and that people should be going before them.
Oh, this is...
It's not going to be pretty.
No, it's really not. There's no two ways to cut it.
No nice way to put it.
I will say thank you to James in chat. just low-key, we're moving on now. But yeah, I think there is going to be a lot of players and a lot of teams getting caught on rotations. Besiktas going on an early play. So Simsy and Co, Lux, they're moving early, and I don't blame them. I really hope, I'm hoping we get some really nice fights around the very tactical compound, I guess. How do you describe it? To the south side of the shooting range, I guess. It's the one where you've got those nice little buildings that overlook a lot of the map. You've got the little hillside towards the south. You always get players on that you kill them from. I'm hoping we get to see someone like that taking over. We see a lot of fights. That's what I'm excited for. There's a lot of these little compounds that provide really good entertainment. And from purely that perspective, I think that's all we can really hope for here, because there's going to be a lot of teams going for a lot of things. The AWAM is there. It's looking gorgeous. It is back into play. And that is the one that has dropped pretty much in the hands of Odense. So they're in a very, very nice position in this one. If they can see that, I don't know if they've been looking out for it. I think they're just focused on probably getting their loot and getting ready for what's coming their way. If they do catch a glimpse, that could be theirs potentially. But Besiktas are the first to really go forwards. It's quite early on this as well. They're moving very quickly here. A lot of the teams potentially heading towards that southern side of shooting range, or potentially shooting range itself. That's certainly another very, very viable spot to head to.
Credit where credit's due. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just completely beelining it forward. All right, they're now going to take a little bit of a pause and move to the left. They'll be able to get an eye on the prize, potentially decide whether or not it's going to be a good run and go on in. They've decided and opted to move towards the west. Fair play to them. Odense, they'll look towards further afield and maybe pressing out of Savannah. You don't want to be trapped too far inside it. If you're going to get the circle, happy days, you own it. But it's not always going to move like that. The circle will naturally and progressively move away from the wall. There's also a drop there if they really want to go flying in, but in theory, you wouldn't. So for Besiktas, they'll hang around the bunkers area. There's someone set one up.
Looks a little bit like it. They're down by the petrol station.
They're not going to camp anybody, though. I mean, if Moonwolf are going to come down
I guess they're just being cautious about heading over, just trying to consolidate things. That makes more sense.
Which is fair. Besiktas have got the eye on someone. Who's that going to be? Well, I suppose it can only be one person. It must be Odense.
Yeah, Krillion's not far off. I think he went to the kind of solo side of things, maybe just trying to spread out the wealth, get as many compounds under control as he can.
Oh, Moonwolf are actually set up. It's not a bridge camp, but it's a ticket booth camp. I'm sorry. We're all out of tickets, boys and girls. Ims, he steps up. He might be stepping out. O'Connell's got his number written across the road. You do. We'll know what's going on. Leans to the left. AKM, but it's not good enough. The return fire and the return trade's there at least. And as soon as you say this, Lauren, back and forth, back and forth. These two teams at the moment chomping at the bit on one another and just causing each other problems.
That's the big thing, isn't it? It's like when you take these fights, you know as a player, you're sat there going, I just wish both of us knew that we could just peel away from this. Because obviously they both want the benefits of winning this fight, right? There's obviously that. I don't need to take it away. But you know that you're probably going to trade out here. You're probably going to lose out on vests, helmets, a lot of ammo, a lot of your medical supplies, which are probably relatively limited. I mean, you're not going to be walking away with the perfect loot at the moment, even with the slightly boosted percentages. Again, I hope they just back away from this. I think they're going to have to just take their losses if they've had them and move on. M19 quick on rotation. They've been doing very well to the southeast side of Savernhy. We are seeing Team Chargers heading towards, I guess, west side of Savernhy, looking maybe for the coastline or potentially some of the smaller compounds around that area. The rest of the team is en route, but they are not that close yet.
TC, they've sent out a scout. Try and take one of the compounds early.
More than a scout, you got two players there.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, here we go.
Handbrake turns it in, slams him against the wall, and now he just looks further afield to see where the rest of TC are. Unfortunately, over the wall he goes and out into the line of fire. Krillian, he needs to make something happen here, but the bars, they're going to be problematic, Lauren, because on both sides, unless he takes his side window and goes for a side peek, it's going to be the 2 versus 1 to continue through.
A bit of deja vu there, just pop that on. But the thing is, the Besiktas in the hillside towards the south of this was third party, and that's why he dived over the wall so fast, because he had to. He was very exposed towards that angle as well. So pick your poison. Krillian being kept safe by a third party. He's still going to lock this one out. It's a really nice little compound. It's very nice for this sort of circle. It's certainly up there in what you're going to be opting for if you can get it. But he knows that he's going to be working with less here. I don't know how much loot he's got. Obviously, an AK, got a hollow on it. He's got enough meds-ish. I got a couple of bandages, but certainly not sitting pretty in comparison to Chargers, who currently do have a good couple of players here, at least 2, sorry, excuse me. So, I mean, they're relatively well set. Let's have a little look at this one. You could see the third party coming in and somehow making those bars work for him.
Yeah, enough bullets coming through, you will, especially on the jump, manage to catch just one player. But as you said, Lauren, Besiktas just causing problems and actually causing him to die there by moving into a line of fire. Everyone else, though, further afield, guys, is now on the full rotate. It's like a wild, mad ant farm up here on this map. We'll bring it up and give you a glimpse of how things should be unfolding. Method, they've decided they want to go Scoom. That's an early knock for him, unfortunately. Best of luck catches him off guard. That's going to be
a bit of range to it, too.
Is that on transition? Is that in vehicle?
This is the compound that I like seeing. So Red Diamonds opted for this. This is the strong compound that you need to be very very aware of. You can get crept
central.
up on, but there's like a good buffer between you. So if you have a bit of range, like Bestalog does with the 4 times in the SLR, you can really keep people at a distance. He's spotting out a couple of players, and you can see the shots coming back in. The Wanderer's Car 98 finds Scoom. He's back down on the floor. Another revive's going to come in. And Rek can't really take this fight from here. It looks like they don't quite have the range. I see an SKS, but also I see a lot of ARs. I see the barrel, I see the AK. I don't know what Scoom's got, but so far he doesn't have much of a leg to stand on.
If he didn't have a helmet before, he most certainly won't do now. That's going to be his armor taking an absolute beating. Poor bugger got back up, and he'll be bleeding out pretty fast if it's a 3rd time. Bestalog now pulls off. He says, okay, that's fine. We've done us damage. We've warned them. We've given them 2 warning shots. Go away, Rek. This is our area.
This could be bait.
You think?
Could be.
Depends if the rest of the boys follow. I mean, looks like Rafi's just going to pre-scout.
Yeah.
Raise your edge. They're on their rotation as well. They don't know this, but there is a team just to their left-hand side up the hill. That's going to be the Sauna boys, so they might unfortunately catch each other on rotation again. Q-Rage is set up on a bridge camp, and that's on the middle bridge. If you think about George Paul as a whole, you have the left one, you have the right one, you have the one in the middle with the cube stack.
Oh,
made it. Nailed it.
Squeaky bum time, but he makes it.
Nailed it. TC.
Oh, Wick, don't get caught on rotation again. Wick's been having so many issues on rotation, trying to scout things out for the team. He's down pretty low already. A couple of tags coming through quite late towards getting to the likes of shooting range. And the 4 times being put to play.
Oh, dear.
And I think he's maybe made it so far, but Method's rotations are so scary. Menox might not have the best of luck either. It looks like he's coming under fire, and he's been found by example. Yeah, not going to make it through. Maybe Wick got away with it, but not a second time. Chris, next in line, he's tagged up, he's wounded. The car's not looking so good either. It's burning it down, and they've lost another. And he's gone. This is a disaster for Method. So early on, Chris spins out. He tries to get away. He's been put down as well. M19 catching them, confirming the kills as well. They have, I think, Wick standing, but Method a little late to the punch, sadly, trying to get in desperately, but so many eyes are trained on this.
This is nasty. Method's down to 1, and he's confirmed. M19 take him for a walk. Nuki, unfortunately, knocks out his teammate Tixu as they pull up as well. Everyone is just absolutely flying to the hills here, all coming down from every single angle. You can hear the bullets, see the trace in the background. This is going to be an absolute mess, just looking for something, absolutely anything. Hell, 3 teams, well, if you want to class Wick as a full team, 3 teams currently inside the shooting range. You got Rek to the back, Besiktas to the front. Besiktas are in a 2-2 split. Bestalog takes advantage of this, sees one. Can he grab a second? He'll confirm the kill, at least for now. But he's looking for this second player. He won't be able to do absolutely nothing. He is dead to rights if he wants to try and move this. But his teammates, they're inside the shooting range, and the tire on the bike, it's gone.
Yeah, this is going to be a bloodbath. Team Ready actually being caught somewhere. Rezu got found by Sixmo. Excuse me, other way around. Resmo found Sixmo. Where was he? Was he just scouting?
He was just chilling, I think.
I think he was looking for maybe an option, because the rest of Team
Ready's
Ready
like,
are off. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I think they may have just thought about it potentially. I guess that's what you'd rather do, is lose one than lose everyone.
Exactly.
Again, they can try and maybe look for other options down the line. I don't know how much room's available on the eastern side. A fair amount still, but they can't get as central as they'd like. A lot of these teams are fighting for territory that is certainly captured. Ooh. I like the Red Diamonds play so far. They've moved up. They've gone for 2-2 splits. We are seeing the rest of Rek certainly under pressure.
Rek are trying to exert the dominance here, Lauren. They're pushing forward. They haven't sat back on shooting range. Like, you'll see so many teams outside of the wall just sit there and hold the line. But they want this. They want to flush everybody out. Poor Wick is just hiding in a corner. Up and over we go. Shiv with the nade. That thing's cooked. Will it go through the window, though? It might just hit the side of the wall. Besiktas are very aware. I think, again, could be absolute hindsight here, Lauren, but maybe this is a bit of a failing from Besiktas, because shooting range was open. If they'd have gone in first, they could have taken full control of this and split men across the shooting range, fired at people as they arrived to it, and deny anybody else access to this. What a pick.
Rafi just... Lux just backhanded him.
If that's the 2-tap as well at that range, it will hit.
Yeah, that was pretty hot, I'm not going to lie. Rafi's on the floor. Shiv's just holding the push for now, but you can see how open this is. As much as shooting range is a nice bit of territory to take, your back's completely open. Is there going to be another victim? No, not this time. Up to the challenge. Shiv steps up to the plate. He goes for the one-shots. He knows he needs to take down Tomil quickly. If he made a peek, he doesn't. Time on the reload now.
I like it. Keep going, but it needs to be aware of this one player that has flanked the wall. And he also needs to be aware of everyone else just encroaching around them. Shooting range is going to live up to its name.
Is that a nade going in?
It sounded like it. Senpai finds Black. Shiv wants to take full advantage, taps him away. They confirm it between 2 of them. Great job from Hacks to read it well.
Oh, Wix had to move as well. Wix
They're just
on the
mopping up
run.
here, Lauren.
Yeah, they are. If you're feeling it, if you have range and you have the weaponry, take this and fight around it. You've got to be very proactive in it, though. It's very easy to get overwhelmed, but it looks like Wix in trouble. He's had to pull up a little bit, find some new cover potentially. The rest of Moonwolf's going on a bit of a revive spree. They're trying to get their teammates back up. At the moment, this is a real bloodbath around that shooting range. All teams alive thus far. A couple obviously operating with far less than ideal, and its first team out is Method. Shiv's nade. It found him. That's a disaster.
That could be game. That could be GG for Pro League. We won't count them out yet. Wilder things have happened. 2 wins and a tank load of kills in the bag absolutely now need to happen. There's also an arm in play, just to let you know. Example has found Rezu. That's a headshot as well. So.
Oh, Wick didn't even have a chance to run.
Smoke gave him away. Putting down the smoke. I know there was fires, but the smoke, you put that and you sit in it. It's like, well, if you didn't know where I am before, boys, I'm right here. I'm hiding in this plume of smoke. Throw nades at me and end me. It does go that way for them. So Method, potentially the nail in the coffin. Something big has to happen in these next 2 games. Rek, they're sitting happy. They're laughing in shooting range. Next circle will come in. She should shift away from water, and she does, which centralizes around the boys from Toxic, just playing on the hillside there. The team in Severny, in fact, 3 teams in Severny. M19, they have the hangar at the front. They have the AWM as well. Besiktas on the back foot.
Shiv, let's
Jesus.
go.
All right.
I want to watch Shiv. It looks like I want to watch Rek, if I'm honest, just because they look like they're really on point. It could be a crash from the Sauna boys coming in. They could take this territory out here, this hillside. But look at Skoom instantly on this. Yorski's having a bit of a troubling issue. Skoom, he's so aggressive. You're untradeable, Skoom. That's maybe an overextension potentially. I like the aggression. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of that sort of play. But you know that hillside is going to be littered with teams. You are taking a big risk, and this is a big fight. Haxeti could be in trouble. No stays alive. The nade doesn't quite go far enough. But we arguably see Rek challenge now on potentially 2 fronts. This is where it gets scary, especially if it's the Sauna boys. They are not messing around.
Skoom's going to back off from this and disengage, and rightly so. Rafi's going to up and over it. Tries to get a little bit of a line of sight. Ultra as well. That's over from the house. So doing a little bit of work back onto Toxic once again. They're being picked off at several different angles. Krillian still in this hut. That's where he's been from day 1. I don't know where he is, because that nade's certainly woke him up. Will they push him? That's the bigger question. There's probably no need to. Then again, I suppose you can move off and do bigger things. You're only going to lose 1 man if there's 2 of you going up, unless you completely cock it up and die during that. Ultra confirms it. Flak 16 points to Besiktas, still up and in it. Only 2 of them alive though. Shiv again, you can see switching to the K9. He's looking behind to make sure that his teammates are covered.
Look at that as well. That's nice.
I like the fact that he's watching the different fights in case the rest of his teammates have to take this one. So denying a third party, so to speak. If he gets a pick on 1 third-party team, it knocks 2 players out, 1 that goes down and 1 that has to back off and res it. If there's any more, you'll just be completely crapping yourself, thinking, oh god, there's a sniper lurking. We need to be careful.
Oh, Squeaky, I thought he had it. That's the orm.
He got armed.
He did get armed. He was desperately trying to save his teammate. He was diving in there to get the other accelerate. Game around Mikaz, but...
Did he bang him through the door then?
I don't know.
He must have closed the door and hit him through the door. If he's done that, that's balmy.
Feels bad. Iggy, how many players do these guys have up? I can't see his teammates. He's potentially the scout, though. You can see the fire from the hillside coming in towards Rek. That's put Rafi on notice. That's Fours up there. Zolta and Co laying down a bit of fire. Again, Rek have to play this very, very dangerous line of never overextending, but always keeping pressure up. It's a really fine balance. Sauna boys have to keep that in mind as well. They can be potential victims from hillside players, as we are seeing M19 being caught here a little bit. And again, 15 teams still remain, 49 players, so a lot of individuals left standing.
Tomo's position's a bit of a nuisance for Rek because it denies them moving to the north outside of the shooting range. They've got enemies on all fronts. Higgy, oh, this could be rough. I'd expect him to go for the bunker just outside of the shooting range. If he decides to opt to go for shooting range, he's going to get completely buggered because there's 3 people that will have. Oh, there he is. Looking for a place to call home. It might end up being. Oh, he did tag himself, but I expected to die from this. There's so many people that are just going to be
accidentally get out a nade.
Throwing nades by mistake.
Yeah.
And the bike hit him as well. It rolled down and cracked him, so it took about 30% health. But he's alive, and that's what matters most. Probably not for long because I don't think he realised Fours have an angle from this place. And they have a 24 as well. Fosford holding the back lines. Wants to keep RYE just at bay there for now. Red Diamonds also want to get involved in this one, should they have to.
New circle.
Still keeping the shooting range in, but it'll push it out next one unless you get a super, super lucky swing.
So the teams who need to move, team ready, gonna have to get going, accelerate, have to get going. We're going to see a lot of teams on the eastern side, and the southern hills have to really kind of pull themselves in. I don't know where they're going to pull to, because there's not that much available. Unsa are holding the eastern side. We have Toxic still in the hillside as well. They have 3 players. They lost 1, I think, to Rek, or potentially Besiktas, I think it was. Wellers hits the deck, going to try and get the spray on the go. Iro does make it past, but this gives it all away. Up on the hill they peak. So much third partying now begins. Iro actually falls off the bike or gets shot off it. I'm not too sure. Surely a confirmed kill here going to be coming out, and it does seem as though Toxic and Forza can rack up some of these rotations from the eastern side.
It's got the vehicle. He's got no health. One more tag, and that'll do it. Team ready, eliminated in 15th place. Tommel stepping out, though. This is the fight going down over in the shooting range. Look at that. He's got both Shiv and Rafi off the back of one run with a barrel. So takes out 2 and makes it an even fight now. Him and his teammate can work together, and maybe they claw back and make shooting range their own. Ultra is out and about. It looks like Rek.
Oh, the molly! They're burning alive! Scoom's gonna run! He's on fire!
No.
This is huge! Rafi's been confirmed down. Scoom's trying to heal off as quickly as he can. What a turn of events this has been. Shiv could be saved potentially in the last second. Scoom comes to save the day, but for how long? Fury is there. Sauna Boys could not join in on this third party because they got locked down by the Red Diamonds out towards the west. So somehow Rek is still alive, but for how long? Tomil is desperate to get into this. Look at the HP on Scoom and Shiv. It's almost nothing.
If he'd have pushed, then he'd just completed Rek and put them out in a very low position. But now the aggression sits back for now. And get themselves together. Sauna Boys, unfortunately, will fall down. This is the downfall of sitting in the area. Oh, a few people rotating through it as well. Retired. Tixu empties the chamber. Retire gets out the vehicle.
Sauna Boys didn't even stand up to try and shoot that. As soon as it went out of line of sight, they're like, nope. But now they're pinched. Fury is on one side. You can have one on the other. Fury gets knocked, but where's the other teammate? Retired FPS has to get into this now. He has to push it if he wants to try and save his teammate. It might be too little too late. There's too many of the Sauna Boys potentially to get past. One more med to get off. Haxeti has 4 out towards washout. And it is the Sauna Boys being pressured from other teams. They're in a predicament. Maybe taking too many fights. Maybe moving to the position here too early because that hillside is still deadly. And Moonwolf are on the move.
Trying to make it inside the shooting range, but it looks like Hax said no. Put a bullet to his brain. Galatasaray goes down in 14th position. Taking a fight with the Sauna Boys, unfortunately, will end their run here in this server. Hax confirming that. Washout bleeds out. 16 points to them. Finally, Krillian, you've been in here for so long, my friend. It's time to leave.
Gets evicted. M19 under pressure, losing out Constantine so far. Is there anyone else to follow? Example still there, Elite players still there. Forza are in the smoke, playing off the back of that, trying to create a little bit of a safety line for themselves. Tapping away so well. And uh-oh, here's the beefy boy himself.
6 kills so far. Teammates will be able to at least get the res on here, but you're essentially now into a 1 versus 4 while he gets the res on his teammates, so they have to be really careful here. Opts to go for the M4. You've got a comp on there, I'm seeing. 4 times on the back. It's not the best for up close and personal, but you can make it work, that's for sure. Hax again. That's the Moonwolf Boys falling victim to Hax. Next phase player. Certainly a dangerous individual.
Oh, look at this Haxeti.
Is he fancying it?
He's got the barrel. He's got an angle too. As soon as Rezu potentially stands up or moves, he could be done for. Quick switch towards the next, doesn't get it. Oh no, what a mistake. Haxeti's now a little bit stuck there. He's got to move up on this. Now the nade comes out. He's spotted that fly, going to pull himself in close as he can. And now he needs support, he needs help, but Shiv tried to move up. He gets caught in the crossfire. Moonwolf have made this very tricky now for Rek. And what remains of them, Scoom tries to rescue this, but that nade could be potentially quite good. Let's see if it confirms. It doesn't yet. Rezu's still alive here. Haxeti in a spot of bother. Lean peeking it. Rezu doesn't have the angle anymore. Are any of these going to get aggressive? Is anyone fancying their chances? It's such a dangerous game to play, but that new circle coming in, it favors almost none of them. Haxeti, suppressor on. Oh, he's desperately trying to look for one of them to make a mistake, but they're just not. He can't run away to the right side either. He's going to have to try and find a way through this as best he can, navigate his way out. Tomil's been found. I think that's Besiktas potentially down to 1 now, as we will be seeing Rust and Mar in a little bit of a battle. Accelerate there, putting down their authority. Avenza has been knocked out. 13th place for them. Not the game they needed here.
Hax is holding the line here, which draws Moonwolf's attention. That's allowed Scoom to go in and pick Shiv up, so a nice draw at least. Edu's getting extremely aggressive. He needs his teammate to help him out, which he does. They get the confirmation. They move together as a duo unit. They take one down. And then all of a sudden, Rezu switches instantly, finds with the 6, will move on to another player from Rek. And now the real test of time comes through. Shiv, last man standing here, but for how long? He's already had his helmet removed. Might have picked up a 2 times along the way, but that's it. Glory in the first game, but not so much in the third. 12th position will become the grave for Reciprocity.
Wrapped upon in the end, unable to make too much of it. They couldn't win a fight out on either side. They just got swarmed in the end, but every team is struggling now. There's so many fights on the outskirts here because that central area is very hard to get to. The explosion will do so much there. Toxic taking down some of their own teammates. I don't know what happened to that. An absolute shambles of a play. Besiktas player is locked in towards the underside of things. M19 have locked him down there. And we've been seeing with Red Diamond still in a really good spot.
I like how Example's just in the wooden hut, just looking for every single crack and hole inside there that he can find. Try and line one up with this AWM. A big boy gun will hurt. It'll end your life as well if you get in the get in line of it. Sammy's just holding on, saying, "Okay, I'll stay here. That's fine. We'll play for placement." Fast rails down. Pin confirms him.
Raise your edge. Oh no, they've been spotted, Pin. He can see so much from up here. I don't think Maverick can get away from that either. The angle's too good for him. The rest of, yeah, they know where they are. Raise your edge, you're going to have to just keep proning their way forward. They can't peek off that line. If someone else from like the northeast side spots them, they are so dead.
Look at that circle.
That look at Rustamar.
Everybody
look at Rustamar. Rich. He's the snake in the grass. He's done really well. He's the last man standing. Can he find any more, though? He's going to try and smoke his way out of this, keep himself alive. This is so impressive. A cheeky little nade to follow.
How scared they are.
Run away. I guess they don't know how many are there, potentially. The nade goes up, and he wards them off. He keeps control of this. Forza are behind him as well. O'Connell laying down the fire. And we'll see how long they can stay alive. Pin does get caught there. Actually, a bit of a turn of events because Red Diamonds had the hillside. I'm surprised that they're struggling in this.
Example's gone down as well, so that's the AWM out of play for now. Up and over. Grenades are there. Unfortunately, Q-Rage, they're all bunched up. One good nade would seal the deal there. Edu, he's fallen, so is Cup of Magic. Their lives are ended. Still continuing the push. O'Connell steps back. Gets the health off. Don't worry, rushing up there.
Oh, Rustamal's seen everything. Look at, they're in a car. He's trying to spray into the smoke. Dear. Gets a second on the reload. The nade comes out towards O'Connell. They're so low. Look at the HP left on the Charger side. They're going to try and just get into the circle. They took away, didn't want that fight at all. Rustamal starts potentially unloading towards another in the hillside. He's going to know that they're up there now, and he moves away from this. He's trying to play this out as a solo as best he can. It's so difficult with so many players in front of you.
It's amazing how scare tactics have gone in his favour by just drilling one player into the floor. The rest of them are backed off and give him a bit of breathing room. It won't be too long because you do have 2 players of falls on him. You've also got TC directly in front of you, so kind of pick your poison. Who do you want to go up against? The 2 to the left or the 2 to the right? Ultra finally. They're done. They're gone. Yeah, they've been having some problems over there. They're M19. Having a few problems of their own. Example, straight back up and straight back on it. AWM finds iZoom. Must have hit him in the body. Goes instantly down, but again, that's a second knock now, for example. And they're leaving him.
Boy.
They're just leaving him.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. M19 on the run, trying to find their bit of cover. No one wants to overextend or overpeak. They can hear all the, DMRs, all the snipers up on deck. We are seeing a bit of a trade out. M19 under pressure here. I think we're seeing more and more teams fall at this point. 8 teams remaining.
Red Diamonds are having a field day. Watch this kill feed alight with their names. There's one elite player goes down finally. Oh, Sauna boys, they're finding an absolute bag of kills. This will be 64 in the bag if he mows them all down. He's found 2. He's just mopping up.
This is so sick. He could potentially die to Constantine, but no. The Red Diamonds have helped him out. He needs to keep moving in this cover. The Red Diamonds have it all, though. Wanted potentially could unravel them, but this is so tough. Toxic are so far out. Sammy's probably going to be dying to the blue. Actually, I think Red Diamonds are going to help him on his way to the grave. Tixu working his way forward. He knows where these players are. He's praying that someone's going to help him out on that matter, but he's only got so little to work with. He does as best he can, but Best Luck outdoes him in the end. And the Red Diamonds are lighting this up. 10 kills to their name and 4 more teams in their way.
They're so spread out, 2 and then 1 up front and then 1 to the back. It gives them so many lines of sight. They can pretty much get a a one. This is what I mean. Having him up on the hill and having him sat back, he can look down and just try and find anybody that thinks, oh, this defilate's good, we'll hide behind here. Well, I'm sorry, Sunshine, but it's not going to happen like that. They have an angle, they have a hill, and they are taking full advantage. They push on. What, they're about 11, 12 kills now?
Yeah, easy.
And they own 50% of the map.
Okay, so Team Chargers, 2 players up. Raise Your Edge Gaming, 1 player up. Accelerate, 1 player up. We've seen weirder things happen, but I don't think they're going to get outdone here. They may... Okay, so the one danger could be Wanted if he moved north, if he tried to get around behind them, but Sid is watching that. Let's look at the other potential threats. Rustamar, I don't know what gun he has. Again, you need like M24s, Kar 98, something to just insta-dig people out of angles to give you a chance. Chargers ain't moving from that shed. So, that's about it.
There's no point, you know. I like how 1 player in the back. I think it's Rustamar's got to pan out, just hoping that a bullet does hit it, and he just survives for a little bit longer. He knows he's got nothing to work with. When you literally got a pan to work with, it's a feels bad man. As we hop on board, he proves me wrong and puts it away. Fair play, lad. Sticks it on his back. No chest though. At least he's got a level 2 helmet, so it'll take some kind of absorption. TC, as you mentioned, Lauren, they'll just sit and chill. There's no point. They know they're going to run into a Hail Mary of bullets.
Yep.
Depends who dies first, really. Rustamar and Wanted. Rustamar doesn't have to go onto the road. He can continue his crawl through the grass.
Hasn't been spotted yet. He's got a little bit of low ground to play up from. That's not bad for him. But he can't overextend. He can't move too far. Red Diamonds, they're being very cautious and meticulous in what they're checking. And they need to find a good bit of ground for that next circle. Wanted does have a decent line. So I guess in theory, they have a lot of players staring at them. That's the one thing against them. Wanted's got himself a nice little tree. Sid could just, I guess, pull him out of it. But a Kar 98 on their side, this is so tricky for anyone left standing. A couple more seconds, the blue will be confirmed. They know roughly where most of the players are, but... Hello?
Come out, boys. We know where you are.
Wanted could win a 1v1 against Sid, potentially. I mean, that's the only thing that could happen. They know there's a little defilade there. They're working it out. I like that. I like the way that... Oh, Wanted's got given a circle, but I think Senpai might have potentially... No, I think he's just spraying in. I think he's just hoping for the best. I don't know how much ground they've got, so it's an open field pretty much for the Red Diamonds. If all goes wrong, they could still lose this, Ridge.
Someone could just run up and throw a nade in, post a nade through, and hope for the best. I'm hearing a vehicle in the back. Bestaloc's going to do something. Is he going to... He's going to... Yeah, he'll put it in. It's good. I respect it. It also gives him an angle to kind of work off and take a look and take a peek.
He needed to do that. There was no other way they could do anything about it. He's going to take out anyone else who was planning to do that. So they didn't have enough hard cover out there. So what you want to happen if you want to see a fun game, somehow Chargers take down Rustamar, or Rustamar just opens up on Red Diamonds, which you won't do. And then you want to see Chargers potentially challenge 2 of the Red Diamonds players. And then you want to see somehow in the wings, the man with 0 kills Wanted be the spoiler. That's how you get a really fun ending. Very unlikely, though.
I like it how all these pro players at this level pre-fire where someone could be hiding, just in anticipation of someone lingering around.
This is when your teammates drop the, I've seen you win these.
Yep. Sid wins these. Rustamar wins these.
Well, Rustamar's been found.
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go. There's the trade out coming in. And it will be 3 teams now remaining. Accelerate's remainder has gone down. Here we go. The Red Diamonds start to build up their aggression. Look at them pushing forward. One is in trouble. Through the fields they run, and they land shots on the way. He has to fall back to cover. And we are seeing a close play from Senpai. Gets him out of there, digs him out of the cover. We're down to Wanted in a 1v4, and they are swarming. It looks like Red Diamonds from start to finish should have this in the bag. Wanted now watches them peek over the top. He gets down one. He can't follow it up. It is all Red Diamonds. An explosive game from them, 15 kills.